So I'm sure by now you've heard about quantum leaps, but what I want to know is if you've done it before. So if you have, leave a comment. If not, keep watching. I did a little, what do you call them on here? I did a short maybe like a year ago, and out of nowhere, it's just kind of blowing up and a lot of people are watching. So what better reason to just go a bit deeper on it and share my take. Clearly there's an interest in it. I've noticed over the past few years, it has gotten a lot more popular. Yeah, first things first, what is quantum leaping? According to the Oxford Dictionary, a quantum leap is a huge, often sudden increase or advance in something. They say something. They don't necessarily specify like jumping into a new dimension or, things like that. That comes in with your mindset. That comes in with manifesting and law of attraction and all of those different spiritual methods and ideologies, right? To me, quantum leaping in this sense is really when you're able to jump into a new timeline or dimension where you're a different version of yourself. Maybe it's the same version, but just further ahead in the future where you've got everything you've been working towards, or it could be a totally different version. There are, quite a few things that I feel people don't quite understand, especially with how fast trends get set, how fast people pick up new things and just start going with it. You really have to do your work before you do a quantum leap, honestly, or else you might get something that you're not really prepared for and you can't really enjoy, or it's not all that you thought it would be. Now I want to get into my experience and what happened for me when I did them. The most recent time that I quantum leaped, I did a guided meditation. And that is, what I based my story on, or my short, I should say, on from last year. It was after I did a quantum leap. And then, one day I just realized like, oh my gosh, I have everything that I was like wanting. It clicked that I successfully quantum leaped. Like most of the time, I don't even realize until I realize. You know what I mean? It's like you stop, you pause, you look around and you're like, wow, like where did the last few months go? Where did the last year go? How did I end up here where I wanted to be? And, it was so easy that I can't even remember like the key things that happened to get me here. Yeah, that was from meditation. And some key things that happened to me were that I felt different mentally and emotionally. Like I felt more powerful. I felt more embodied and, able to speak my truth without fear, without compromise. Yeah, I just felt like a more powerful version of myself. I felt very clear in my why and in my path and in my journey. And also like in the people around me, I was actually really happy with my job. I was getting all these amazing opportunities to go to these beautiful places, to meet amazing people. And yeah, it was really, really, really cool to actually like recognize that that's what happened. The very first time that I quantum leaped, that I like actually am consciously aware of, was when I bought Moldavite. So I bought Moldavite like March of 2020. I should say, not 2020. I bought it 2021. So end of 2020, I had like gone through a really bad breakup. I lost my sense of self completely. Yeah, that was like the first time I ever experienced a real heartbreak where I actually felt my heart breaking. It was very, very, very sad. It was like a very, very dark time. So in that, I picked myself up eventually. So by March, I was starting to feel good again. For my birthday, I had like this really amazing massage. The massage therapist introduced me to human design. And so that was kind of like the start of my journey. And I had already been, diving into astrology over that winter and learning a lot about it and a lot about myself and like learning about tarot and things like that. So when she mentioned human design, I was like, okay, cool. Yeah, that sounds like something I would really be interested in. And so like a week later, I felt called to buy a piece of Moldavite because I felt like I was already at rock bottom, and I saw all the TikToks online about like, oh my gosh, I bought Moldavite and my whole life changed. Everybody left. I don't know who I am anymore. people were having very extreme reactions to Moldavite, and I was kind of like, oh, that's amazing. You know, like these things that seem so big and like crazy and scary to some people, honestly, they kind of excite me. So I went ahead, I bought my Moldavite, and I started wearing it every single day around my chest. And little did I know, I'm an ego manifestor, so my heart is my motor, is my authority. It's what tells me what is a yes, what is a no, what I desire, what I want for my life. It's what keeps me aligned. And I didn't realize that by wearing this piece of like Moldavite around my heart every single day, that it would really just take away everything that was not aligned with my true desires, with what I wanted for myself, what I saw for myself. And it replaced everything that I lost with people, with things, with experiences that really spoke to my heart, that were really heartfelt yeses. Literally, like 2 years went by. I can't even remember. Like, it was just a blur. And by 2023, I had like everything that I didn't even know I wanted. Like, it's crazy. By 2023, I finally went to Hawaii. I had the most amazing retreat with this really amazing mastermind group that I was in. I was in an amazing, healthy, loving relationship with my partner. We're still together. That was just so effortless, and like we literally just feel like we're meant for each other. Like, honestly, everything about that whole relationship beginning was so aligned, and like it's just crazy. I'll have to have a whole talk with you guys on just all the signs, everything being in alignment, because it was really amazing. I bought my house. Like, there are so many things that happened that were what I wanted, right? And it brought me to a timeline where I was in control, where for the first time ever in my life, I got to choose what I wanted for myself. And it wasn't for anyone else. You know, I wasn't doing it to people please. I stopped caring about what people would think of me, what people would say. Yeah, that was my experience. And so I had one experience that was not so great, and then one that was really good. But I should warn you that, like, with the Moldavite, I leaped so far ahead energetically, but I was still a bit behind in my physical body. And that's because I still had more work to do. So although I was able to get all of these things that I wanted, it's like they came when the time was right, when I had done the work that I needed to do to receive what it is that I was asking for, and to be able to hold it and not self-sabotage. Okay. So that is one thing that I really want to caution you on. And it's one of the things that, you know, is in my little list of things to be aware of that I'm going to share with you just in a little bit. Yeah, I just want to recap. The outcome of all of these quantum leaps that I did was, you know, I had so many things disappearing from my life, so many things left to make space for what was coming in. I met so many new people, had so many amazing experiences, and my inner self was like glowing for the first time and feeling sure about who I was. And I was able to do things that I was so scared to do just like weeks or even months before. Yeah, my mindset changed, but I still did feel anxious about the things that I wanted. So that's something I'm still working on. I feel like that is kind of like a forever thing, you know, if it's not big, if it's not worth it, then you're probably not going to be anxious, right? And then the downsides, like I said, it was as if my spiritual body was light years ahead of my physical body. And with that came the anxiety. With that came the impatience of, I know I'm supposed to have this. I know I'm supposed to be here. Why is it not here yet? And that hyper focus on what is not here yet, which of course creates that resistance and makes things take a lot longer than they need to get to us. So yeah, with everything that you do, you know, there are things to be aware of. There are things you might want to consider before you do it. This is really what I find people are not sharing enough.